name is Vanessa Fiola with On-Prem Solution Partners. Thank you for joining us on our Zoom call today. Over the next few minutes, we are going to be talking about the importance of digital asset management and really the digital media supply chain as a whole, and how to keep DAM momentum moving forward, especially in today's environment. Joining me today from On-Prem's digital media supply chain practice are John Christian, Tim Day, and Dave Liu. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is John Christian. I'm one of the founders of On-Prem Solution Partners, and I also lead our digital media supply chain and our data and analytics practice.
I'm Dave Liu. I'm a principal here at On-Prem, and I head up our Dallas consulting hub and have extensive experience in media entertainment, automotive, telecom, and retail.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Day, and I head up On-Prem's New York office. Been working in digital media supply chain for consumer products, retail, life sciences, and media and entertainment.
Great. Welcome, everyone. John, can you talk to us about the environment that we're in today and how that impacts DAM and the digital media supply chain?
Thanks, Vanessa. In light of recent world events, we're seeing unprecedented change in how businesses are operating. We're being forced to work from home. Some companies are completely shutting down. And we thought that this would be a good opportunity to look at basically our definition of a mature digital media supply chain and see how that's impacting these companies in this particular environment. And when we say digital media supply chain, I think it's pretty good to actually set a definition of what we mean by that. When we're talking about digital media supply chain, we're speaking about from initial content creation all the way through end user consumption and all the technologies, processes, and governance that needs to be associated with those interacting systems. So if you think about digital asset management as being the central repository, you're going to be able to integrate upstream to your enterprise systems, which is going to include financial systems, customer relationship management, master data management systems. And then your downstream systems, which will be your websites, content management systems, your streaming portals of that nature. And then basically all of your middle systems or the glue that's going to tie everything together. So workflow solutions, review and approval, transcoding solutions, really things that are going to be automating the digital media supply chain process. And Tim and Dave are going to speak about some of the advances to the maturity of the digital media supply chain process and how that's actually functioning today.
Thank you. Tim, how are you seeing companies deal with the impact of working from home and perhaps thinking about that as a new business model?
I think honestly, it all depends on the maturity of the company's existing digital media supply chain and whether they're at the crawl, walk, or run phase. So at On-Prem, we developed a model that helps assess companies with where they are on their digital media supply chain journey. So if we take it to two ends of the spectrum, I think companies that are at the crawl phase, they're actually seeing a lot of their inefficiencies being magnified by this issue that's going on. And so if you look at an example of how these companies are operating today, a lot of times you'll see they have siloed systems, they have hard drives of content, and even sometimes agencies control their content for them. And so this actually creates a lot of manual process, which is oftentimes reliant on paper as well as email, which is really an unstructured form of workflow. And oftentimes in some of these larger companies, we actually see that they're not having their content accessible outside of the firewall even. So from their perspective, being able to work remote and provide self-service of their content is actually not possible. However, if you look at companies that are on the run side of the spectrum, they actually have a lot more mature capability. And so from their digital media supply chain environments, what you'll see is they have remote access to their tools. They have traceable workflows that are often orchestrated through workflow engines. And they also have automated reporting and content distribution that actually pushes content out to their publishing endpoints. So what we see is the companies that are at the run phase, they're actually business as usual.
Interesting. Dave, can you give us some insight into additional ways that a mature DAM can help companies nowadays?
Well, given everything that's going on, it's more important than ever right now to be able to quickly react to the latest news and provide that personalized content at a much more rapid pace than it used to be. A mature DAM can actually help with that in multiple ways. So first, as Tim was mentioning, is in regards to remote access. Typically, a mature DAM system would be one that's based on a scalable cloud-based architecture that has robust asset security policies in place so that it allows for both internal and external access. This way, it can actually be used on an enterprise DAM level truly across the globe and while still keeping things secure to your authorized personnel. On top of that, when you have limited bandwidth scenarios like you do nowadays, and you need to upload or download a lot of assets or large assets, dams that have integrations with file acceleration tools can be extremely helpful too. So as you can imagine, that's huge nowadays when working from home, and that's actually more of a must-have required functionality rather than something that used to be more of a nice-to-have functionality. Second, mature dams often incorporate and virtualize business workflows into their system. So that includes things like workflow and annotation tools, and doing things like, for instance, a marketing team being able to go virtually and do photo selects, or doing things like marking up and annotating different images for reviews, and even going through the approvals process with their agencies or the marketing team, or even legal and business affairs. All of that can be done within the system. Last but not least is tying the dam into downstream systems like content management or rights management systems, because that actually opens up the opportunity for companies to easily push content out directly to their websites or campaigns or other distribution channels based on exactly when and how they want the content to be used. At the end of the day, all of those things help to make it easier for businesses to have more of a self-service model around their dam, and ultimately helps them to achieve a faster time to market and cost savings opportunities by being able to reuse assets.
Wonderful. So it sounds like a mature dam is a crucial piece for companies moving forward. But John, what insight do you have for companies who are just getting started on their digital media supply chain journey?
So implementations can be hard. They can be really hard. So the first thing is to actually try to start small and then iterate throughout to extend the basic functionality of the system. At on-prem, we actually have a methodology that encompasses core, which is the minimum viable product, and then goes into an accelerate phase, which actually does iterative bursts throughout in terms of functionalities. So think about starting with a given business unit, a given territory, and a given set of use cases. Model for exactly those use cases. But the secret sauce is that you model for that use case, but it has the ability to scale to the enterprise. Now on the integration point, again, start simple. Think about integrating to things like single sign-on and upstream systems such as master data management. And then as you begin to iterate across different business units, you can encompass additional integrations that are critical to their core business. From a UX standpoint, it's critical to think about that particular business unit. User experience is going to change from business unit to business unit, and it's critical that you capture those elements to actually reduce change management. And then last but not least, governance. So keep in mind that this implementation is not going to be a one and done. It's going to continue to extend, and you're going to have to continue to sustain those existing user groups that you're bringing on. So how are you going to appeal to the new business users and units that are coming on, and how are you actually going to support the existing business units on in a successful process?
Awesome. Well, that's all we have time for today. So thank you, gentlemen, and thank you all for watching us. Please join us at onprem.com, where you'll find more on all things digital media supply chain in our on-prem masterclass video series. You'll also find additional thought leadership. So until next time, bye.